Color. An aspect of art I love, embrace, hate, and fight with. A moody color palette falls in the same space. Red as the pigment in particular. Red, I feel, has a very restricted space in terms of what is red versus what is brown or orange or purple. I tried to branch out to all of these directions, including green as a neutralizing color and blue for fun, and when I found out it wasn't going well, I tried yet again to implement gold ink to cover up my mistakes. It worked, by the way. But next time, I either pick one direction when I'm working with red, or I use a different style. Something bold and pop like I usually imagine red anyways. I'm not a fan of mixing reds and pinks, so I'll avoid that. There's a reason I organize my rainbow with pink after purple and not before red. Red and true pink is a little bit atrocious. But aside from my failings, I finally got to painting Kristelle like I meant to. She's a cool bean who does woodworking and word prints and what else have you. Definitely a side to art I don't usually pay attention to in terms of stamping and woodworking in general. While she's also the merch manager to one of my favorite bands ever, I have a bias towards visual artists over performance artists. Being this is the first portrait in the style that I've completed, I'll probably revisit her as a subject in the tail end of these portraits. Although what the tail end will be, who knows, so she may be the report card. This is also the first piece out of the last two that I used black paint in again. I've really forgotten how to utilize it properly. With strong colors like red and black, I'm more partial to a cartoon pop style like I used to do in high school. Now that I think about it, I'll redo this portrait in that style as the first bunch of portraits in that cartoony style. I guess when I get sick of painting flowers and realize it's been eons since I've touched my pens. Composition was a little weird as well. I didn't plan on adding flowers until halfway through the sketch, and when one rose accidentally covered up her plug, I knew that the flowers had taken over, especially since roses can easily become a pain to draw if you have to redraw them. Roses in particular, however, are a very nice flower to practice with in terms of their geometry, taking artistic license, and paying attention to just where the shadows and highlights fall. One last thing I want to touch on is the medium I use. While my modus operandi lately has been watercolor pans and zinc white gouache, this portrait in particular is a gouache portrait, whereas my Tyler the Creator portrait that was painted alongside Kristelle is a watercolor portrait. While any use of gouache paint makes the medium gouache in some perspectives, in the portrait with Kristelle, I lean heavily on the opacity of goat paint, whereas with Tyler, I keep in mind the transparency of water paint. I think my time painting Coriolis earlier this year has made one thing clear: I paint with a heavy hand. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I managed to edit most of it within a day, so that's pretty good in terms of my pacing and catching up to my current workflow. I have another portrait that I'm working on right now, a bunch planned, and one completed that also needs to be edited, so announcement to my 4 subscribers. Hopefully next time I'm on I'll have 500 subscribers. Cheers.